Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Tics, especially you subscribers. We got a fun day for you showing a lot of watch faces, but some of you are watching this video because I directed you here because of a comment that you left in one of the videos. And I don't have a way to reach you other than this video. So I'm going to get back to the watch faces in just a minute. And for those of you who are here for the watch faces, I'm going to scroll through a list of all of the ones you're going to see in the order they'll be appearing by the names given to them by the authors of the watch faces. Back to those of you who are here because of a link in a comment, I just wanted to share with you that I'm not able to answer you, and I apologize. You may be asking me a question about an older watch that I did a review on a long time ago, a feature I either covered in the video, and it's there if you want to watch it for the answer, or I didn't cover it, and I don't really have an answer, and in order to get you the answer, I'd have to try to hunt down the watch, dig it out of a box, charge up the dead battery probably, and go through it. And that just takes so much time, and I don't have the time to dedicate to that. So if you're not getting an answer from me on a comment that you left in the past, or if you're getting this link to this video, well, that's what I'm here to tell you, is I'm not going to be able to answer what you're asking about because it's kind of come and gone, and I really need to spend my time moving forward. So apologies for that, and hopefully if any of you out there do have an answer for any of the questions you see that I haven't answered, please jump in and do it for me. Battery life, pinch and zoom, whether apps can be loaded or not, whatever it is, I encourage you to help the community out and answer. If you have a question and I haven't answered it, try going here. This is the same link that'll take you there. It's just easier to remember, tinyurl.com/watch support. Go over here. You'll end up in the Round Android Smartwatches Pro Boards forum, and you can probably see the answer right there, or you could ask it if you create an account and log in. Also, see these resources. This is a resource that I maintain, and it's got all sorts of goodies in there you can take a look at, including recommended apps, a list of all the Android watches on the market, when I can keep it up to date, and all of their characteristics, and much more. This is a listing of smartwatch watch faces for round Android watches, and it brings us to today's video. Yes, we're back on track. So thank you guys who I'm not able to respond to in the comments. We're done. For those of you here for the watch faces, here we go. The listing that I just showed you of all of the watch faces in alphabetical order is what you'll be able to refer to if you want to pick out a specific one of these watch faces. That's why I put it at the beginning, so you can always go there and scroll through. Now, this is the last stock watch face, and I'm going to press and go on and load up each and every one of 70 plus watch faces. Yep, in this video, only the hardcore. That's why this is for subscribers only. By the way, if you're not a subscriber, you may be watching this because I put it out for everybody for a while, but then I'm going to make it subscriber only. So only if you have the link to this video, which you will if you're a subscriber, would you be able to connect in here and watch it. That's just an incentive to get you guys to subscribe. And also it'll take it out of the playlist for a lot of people that might go, why the heck am I wasting my time on this if they're not interested? So the first one, just to give you an idea how this works, this is a watch face that plays well on the LEMX because of the flat tire at the bottom. The little black stripe isn't visible, and you can kind of get away with it as a nice watch face. Oops, it activated. And that one is called, from the very first part, 45S_3. There's no rhyme or reason to the naming convention. It's just what the person wanted to do. When you go in the show notes, there's a zip file that you can download, and in that zip file, you're going to have a directory that shows pictures of all of these watch faces, and there's going to be little thumbnails that have a link to the actual watch face creators page, where you can find the download information to download it directly from the developer to your watch. Okay? Follow me on that? And there's an instruction guide in that zip file as well. So you're not getting the actual watch faces in the zip file that you see here. You're getting information on how to locate them and download them. Here's another example. See how the flat tires kind of just disappeared in the foreground, but you have the date down at the bottom, and you have this information, and no watch on it? Some of these have little glitches in them. And if you're inclined, you can go into the XML file, and you can fix it so that you'll pop out watch faces on this background, if that's something you'd like. I included that one just for you to experiment with. Here's another one. There's a watch on here if you look carefully at the outside, but this is primarily health-oriented. It's giving you the battery, a really big representation of your heart rate, and your number of steps on the watch. Don't see that very often. Flat tire is conveniently right below the circle, so it works well here and you don't even notice it. Now we get into the Bell & Ross watch faces. These are specialized faces. There's a link again when you go into the zip file and follow over there. There's a link to all sorts of these. Now notice this one is analog with the date in a circle. I've included all of these. Now the flat tire is more obvious here, but notice that the numbers 12 and 6 float above it. So it integrates well. We're not cutting the 6 halfway off. Those are the criteria I was looking for in over 700 watch faces I reviewed. Here the date and the battery power are in really nice shadowed windows. Very attractive watch with minimal information, but what you need to know. Here's a little bit more elaborate where you have temperature, date, and a symbol for the weather, and your battery level is over here, and still you've got the Bell & Ross background and watch. Another one that drops those circles down a little bit lower here, okay? And then finally, the one you've seen in a video I used. This is my favorite. This is what I use all the time. I really like this watch. I've got digital, analog, I got date, I got temperature outside, and I wish it was in Fahrenheit, but it's not, and battery level. And it's just an attractive overall watch face. Again, you can get these by extracting them from the zip file and following the link to the developer's page. Here's another nice one. This is a ball. Now, I'm going to jump over to the list, show you where we are. We just went through all of these, and now we're in this ball, hydrocarbon, blah, blah, blah. They're alphabetical as we show them on the video, and you just keep walking through them. This is wild. Check this out. That's the seconds in a curved font against the actual time. Now there's no markers, so you gotta be aware of where your watch is oriented on this one, or you might be off an hour or so. Here's the same thing, but contoured with a night theme so that it's like it's backlit in an old style watch that just had a little bulb on the side. Very creative. Here's an optical illusion watch, and conveniently the bottom is appropriately black and everything emerges from that. It's just got the time on it. So a lot of this is how can we make the LEMX with its flat tire that everybody just seems to really be upset about, how can we make it work well? This is how. Getting the right watch faces. There's a blank space here, and then there's a Casio. I cannot figure out in the code why this isn't working, but it's the same watch. I touch there and I come up with the Casio. And if I touch and I go over here to the next one, I get exactly the same watch. It's one file. There's some little glitch in there. But what the heck? I mean, you know that's what's going on. It's an old Casio watch built into here, and the band is kind of black at the bottom. That's all. And it's perfect. It just matches up really nice. Here's another interesting one. A little kitty cat with the time in big digits. All of these are unique creator designs of how to produce smartwatches and watch faces for the smartwatches. This is in an Italian version of it, so you're going to notice the languaging is different, but the layout's really cool. Here's another digital watch. It's softer in its contrast between the brightness and the darkness, so really good for indoors. By the way, these are from the designer that uses his sunglasses, and unfortunately that was hidden on the one before, but when you follow the links, you'll get over there, and each of these designers, I can guarantee you, has made way more watch faces than than just these. So have a look. This is really nice. This works well, except that you notice the minutes down here are almost cut off, and at the bottom they would be. So I thought about throwing this one out. I included it. You can play with it or leave it out if you want to. Here's a classic one we've seen where you've got information conveniently across here. Some of these have actually been used in watches. This is one of my favorites too, the folded piece of paper that's been iterated and iterated and iterated. The original guy made it. I made some modifications to that. Another guy made modifications to that, and here we are. All right. It's really interesting fonts, crayon kind of fonts, all set up in a folded piece of paper. Here's another one that's sort of like the movie marquee thingamajigger, right? When they time the movies and stuff, it's got the date and everything. And again, black bars at the top and bottom. We have over 70 of these to go through, so I should keep moving. Here's Iron Man, done again in a digital format. Here's an interesting one. Walk around with that thing flashing on your screen, and it's just got the time across the face. Now, we get into a series of colored, everything you need to know type watch faces. Look at all the goodies on here. There's a green one and a red one of this type. It's got a little something cut off down there that shows through. Sorry about that. You could tweak it, I imagine, to get rid of that if you want to play with the HTML, the XML code. And now these colored ones are different, and there's nothing cut off. It's got everything on here. You have it in blue, in a green, and so forth. And so that they're soft colors. They're not really big and bright and bold. So again, it's a nice watch for more of an indoor use or a place where you don't need high contrast, like trying to look at it outside. And here we've got black for the numbers against the white background or the red background. And it's showing you all sorts of stuff. Now, we passed all of that and we get into this. This is one of those space ones. And we've got some really cool designers that have made animated action. I'm talking, come on, there you go. Don't want to spend too much time on you. You see how he's got orbiting things going around a planet that's turning? And that's reflected light from the outside. That's not part of the watch face. The moon phase, I don't believe, changes with the real moon. But you do get some pretty cool stuff happening. That watch face, available for you to download. By the way, not just for this watch, for any Android watch. On the others, you won't have the blackout point. You'll have the entire planet there. But you can put them on any watch. And so this is a good collection for everybody. Here's another kind of tells-all type of a display. Again, the way it's cut at the very bottom matches the way the watch face was designed, so it plays well on the LEMX, and we've got that in these 3 different colors. We're dropped down to 94% so far. Here's an interesting one. Not much to say about that, except Halloween is coming. This is really cool, and it takes a little while to load. You see it flash through a bunch of faces there? Depending on the time of day, one of the characters from this movie will appear. And it's got a sweep hand, like those things that go back and forth and will show you the time. See them go? All these different characters are flapping across there. And again, the bottom just makes it look like a windshield wiper foundation. Okay, enough of that. Here's an optical illusion one. What I really love that's unique with the LEMX is how when you move to a new watch face, it goes through that gyration before it settles down. It's actually flipping through months and dates and years and all sorts of stuff, and then the time as well, and then it finally settles. Here's a very busy watch that's showing a lot of stuff. This is, look real close and you can read where it's from across there. Okay, let's keep going. This is a blob with time on it. But again, you don't see the black bottom because it matches with the top. Here's a fun little game type of emulation with Mario on a speedway. Okay. The reason we're not giving you all of these watch faces to just download in one lump and be done with it is because Well, we want to honor all of the developers. It's called attribution. We want to give attribution and recognition to the people that put a lot of time and effort into this. And we also want to give them an opportunity to tell you where they got it from. For example, this is from the movie The Matrix. Important to let you know that, especially things like Bell and Ross and others, we want to acknowledge the companies for legal reasons to make sure that, we're not violating copyrights. So I can't give you the actual APK files for all of these, but I can point you to the moon. I can give you the link that's going to take you directly to each of these watch faces from each of the designers' own special posting on the Round Android Smartwatches G Plus community for watch face design. Here's a 007 minion thing. I'll let it run a little bit so you can see all it does. This I thought was pretty cool, and although it doesn't fit perfectly, it seems to work where you have a wolf with wings, I guess, against the moon. Very sweet. Very sweet. This works perfectly. Look at that. A nice Nixie tube digital watch. And on this big thing, that's going to shine all over the place. You cannot miss seeing what time it is there. Here's another interesting space one. Okay, we've got a twirling Earth and moon with date and time, appropriately positioned to fit just perfectly on this watch. Hope you're getting the drift of this. This is a Pokemon, I believe. I think that's what this one is, that subtly blinks at you right there with just the time on it. And a Pong game, the old Pong game where the time itself, now all that bouncing and stuff was just the LEMX getting settled. Now it actually goes into effect and it plays the Pong game with the time. And the date up at the top. Whoa, this one's wild, from the movie Psycho. Did you ever watch that? They've emulated a TV and are playing clips from the movie about every second or so. So I think you could use this as a template if you wanted to and change the background image on the TV to whatever you'd like, your grandchildren, whatever, and modify the picture up there and use the watch concept, and it cuts off perfectly right here, as something to make your own. Yes, we do have tutorials on exactly how you can modify these watch faces. Just look on our playlists for watch face design. Here's a really, really fun and detailed radar where the actual hours and minutes and seconds are ticking around and are in the appropriate locations to match what the time is. And you got the little radar thing going around. A different way of expressing this is this one. And it's another radar with a little ball that goes kind of chasing it around, a moon up there, and the digital time shown as well as the analog with your power and your date and the temperature. It's all there, folks. And it doesn't have any interference with the bottom that offends so many of you guys. Here's a flashy color thing that just changes colors and shows date and time. Yeah, you getting bored yet? Want a bathroom break? Then put it on pause. Here we go. It's, wow, 4:40, 3:40, almost 4. I don't know. Anyway, you're supposed to see the time out of all of that in a circle. Here's a wild one. Another Halloweenish kind of thing coming. I didn't find a lot of the Christmas ones. I didn't put any of those on yet. This is really big and bold and works really well, except the font doesn't quite fit for the battery. I think if they lost that and moved it over, it would work. Ah, the roosters are awake. It would be okay, but hey, you got your date and time. This works really good outdoors, let me tell you. You can actually see this in the bright sunlight if you tilt it just right. And this one does too as well. Whenever you have white against black or close to it, it works great. Here we got just the sky moving by and the roosters in the spaceship. About this. No, this is all it does, I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait a minute. It's getting bright. Oh, whoa. You're going to have to do it on your own to see what else shows up. Yeah, you guys know I live out in the rural Tules, don't you? At the foot of a rainforest. Unfortunately, it's not raining today. It's this is same as that one, but they put the date down here and moved the empty full indicator for the battery. And again, the rooster crows. Again, it fits really well with that black border down there. Aha! Spock materializing and dismaterializing in his, what was that called? Come on. Millennials, hello. Trans what? Trans-reflective screen? No. Transporter? Huh? Someday we'll do that. Here we go, SpongeBob. Round pants, not square pants, because it's a round watch, right? You get the innuendo. Here is another interesting thing going on. I think this is another Star Wars or Star Trek or something kind of thing. Look at all of these. A lot of stuff happening here. Again, it works. We've got this one too. And it's got a lot of interesting stuff. That's all I can say. I don't even know where the time is. I think the time is happening in here, right? Wow. Okay, there's steps and temperature. Battery power. We've got another space one. This is that Death Star, I think. And I'm not talking AT&T, although sometimes I'd like to. These are fighters and going, and date and time and temperature or battery power. All that stuff's happening and kind of cut off, but not too bad. Here is Suicide Squad. This is another one of those where you're going to have a different character show up throughout the day for representing the movie, and it's got your basic date and time and a little flat tire that's kind of hidden, not too obvious. All right, we're almost there. This is Tron, I believe, where you've got this whole flashing thing going on. It's got the time, the date, and different information, seconds and whatnot, that are conveyed through that shooting thing. Oh, look at that. Smartwatch ticks. How cool. It's all here. You also have this cute little thing with the time and the date and playful watch faces. Really bold representation of the flat tire, but somehow it can work with this one, right? You getting the feel for this? Here's some pistons. This one I almost left out, but I thought some of you guys might want to play with it. It just, it goes kind of slow, as you'll see, compared to the others, but you can mess around with that and speed it up if you want to, so it looks more like this. There we go. How is he doing that, huh? Well, we have a video up that talks about pendulums and pistons and some of the art of how you design that. And then there's this one, which is really good. If you want a nice analog-digital combination watch with the information that's core, including your heart rate and your steps. And finally, don't forget MS-DOS. You can do your time, date, and system info right here on a watch face. And that, folks, wraps up the whole list of 70-plus custom watch faces. You can also, you see that little minus sign, these are the ones you can download on your own right now. From the very end, we'll get there. You hit the plus sign, and it'll turn you into this area where you can download watch faces. And I put a few of them on here just to show you. You don't need to do anything other than just go and download them right now on your own LEMX. This is what I was trying to avoid. You see that, where it just kind of cuts the numbers across? That looks yucky. But if it does it in a way that preserves the numbers, then it's okay. Like this one, you see it shows the watch face nicely, and you don't really notice that it's got the flat tire at the bottom. Here's another one, kind of sort of works. Everybody's got their own tastes, and this one does it sort of too. Whenever there's a circle all the way around and it cuts it, it's going to be a little bit annoying, and there's no way around it. There, nice and clean, date and time, analog, digital. Yeah. And then there's this twirly thing where the circle's up here, but it's unfortunate that it cuts that off so badly. But it does. And then you've got the fancy thing with the electro lights in the background and the bright hands, and it's almost invisible there. And once again, I got those from over here. Now, before I touch that, I want to tell you about this. That little circle arrow there, really important. Whenever you install new watch faces to the watch, tap that before you do anything. That kind of erased the whole directory and repopulated it and takes you back to the very first watch face, and it makes sure you don't end up with a black screen and not being able to change watch faces. That sometimes happens on these watches, and that was specifically put in there by, yes, the gang at the Round Android Watches Pro boards that took the initiative to create that safety valve to be able to install round Android watch faces on Android watches and not get compromised. If you're on the internet, oh, you know what? I don't think I have Wi-Fi turned on. I have only cellular on here, the 4G cellular. And when I'm sitting down here and I'm doing this, it usually is only 3G. Hey, but it pulled it in anyway. Look at that. And you can download any of these you want to, like that one. And it'll show you it downloading. It would be done like that over Wi-Fi, but again, I'm on cellular. Okay, here's another one, and there's more, and there's more, and there's just hundreds of the, well, not hundreds, but a lot. I select that one, and there you go. Now that's another watch face that's been added, and you don't see the bar at the bottom, and that would actually work for you. So one last time, what you're looking at are 70 plus watch faces which are within the clock skin folder on this watch. And this is the directory of all of them. This is a printout of what's actually in the clock skin folder. It's going to load them alphabetically. If you want to change the order that they appear on your watch, you need to rename the folders, like putting a 001, 002 in front of all of these to order them by the way you'd like them to appear. Otherwise, they're going to order alphabetically. And these are the names of all of them. And in the zip file that you can download by going to the show notes, unzipping that and looking at the pages that have this name on it, which will show the picture, and it'll have a link. Copy and paste that link, or just click on it if your computer will let you. It's going to take you to a web page. That web page is the posting by the author of each of these watch faces. In that listing, it's going to describe it, and it's going to have a link. Click on that link, and it's going to take you to the their Google Plus drive or whatever, where you can literally download the zip file that will hold the information you need to make that particular one work on your watch. Unzip that when you get it on your computer. It needs to be unzipped, and you'll have a folder by this name. When you connect your watch, and there's instructions on that, to the computer, you're going to mount your watch as if it was a thumb drive, so it's going to show up as a folder on your computer, and you're going to drag the folders of the watch faces you want from your computer to the clock skin folder on your watch. Just drop it in there. When you've done that for all the ones that you want, come back to your watch, go all the way to the end, and hit that little circle up there to let it refresh. Okay, whoops, didn't quit the right one. That's the other one. You have to really hit it right. Okay, let's get back here. You have to, see, I hit there, but I didn't. You hit anywhere else and you're getting that plus. You have to really hit right on it for it to refresh it. I missed it again. Okay, anyway, you get the drift. Refresh the watch, and from then on, you're good to go. And just scroll through, and you'll see all of your new watch faces. All right, you've been watching Smartwatch Ticks. Appreciate your subscription, and this will be available only to you subscribers eventually. And for the rest of you watching right now, you have access to it. Make sure you make note of the look up in the browser of what the URL, what the address is of this video, because once it's removed from the channel, it's still going to be available to you, but you need to know what that address is in order to watch it. So watch it now is my advice. Okay, we'll be back with a lot more good stuff, and we'll see you soon. Oh yeah, you guys do know about the first two stock watch faces that come with the LEMX, right? The fact that you have live wallpaper and you can actually pop the bubbles, play a game to try to pop them all before they reach the top. Yep, that's on this one. And if you go to the second one, you have a black screen. If you're very careful in how you touch it, you can create smoke. Touch it too hard, though, and it'll erase it when you go to another screen. When you come back, well, look at that. It's not erasing it. That's cool. Okay. And you can make all sorts of fun patterns and designs, and they show up in color. Those are the first two watch faces. The rest of them that you've seen before are static, but these are really cool in the way they operate. It's integrated, apparently, into the operating system. We can't download them to other watches, but definitely if you get the LEMX, you can have a lot of fun. All right.